Today I will be discussing about the overview of British social background. This will help you to build a mind map about all the social events that have taken place in the English history. Moving on, these are some of the ways in which you can connect with us, and you can be in touch with us for next videos. And it will also help you to be a part of the after the NET exams. We all know that the English UGC NET syllabus goes like this. First, you'll have to have some questions about drama, poetry, fiction, stories, non-fiction, prose, language, and the evolution of language English in India. Also about cultural studies, literary criticism, literary theory post-World War II, and research methods and materials in English. And you will be having questions in the way of chronology, and you will be asked questions to place the year or the books or the authors in a chronological manner. Previously, you all had direct questions, but nowadays we have a bit of complicated ones in which you have to focus on the chronology a lot. So we will work accordingly. To give you an overview, we have some periods of British literature in which you will be witnessing how literature developed starting from the Old English period till the contemporary age. Old English period is the first period in which we had some literary works done, but then those were not much, and then it was followed by Anglo-Saxon period and Anglo-Norman period. You can also segregate these two periods under the subheading of Old English period itself. Then the most important period was Age of Chaucer, in which Chaucer was the important personality who started with English writing, and the time period was from 1300 to 1400. You'll see in the brackets there are multiple time periods, but don't worry about it. In various books and in internet or other resources, you'll find these years differing a bit, but then if at all you're asked any question, you should be able to answer it according to these approximate time frames. Then after Age of Chaucer, you had Middle English period. In Middle English period, the literature was not much, and it was also known as Barren Age and Dark Age or Age of Revival. You had limited literature that time. Then the most significant period or the flourished period of British history is Renaissance period. In Renaissance, you could find dramas and theater developing a lot, and it was basically divided into certain ages like Tudor Age, Age of Elizabeth, Jacobean Age, Caroline Age, Puritan Age, and Restoration Age was the next one. In Restoration Age, the revival of theater came into being, and followed by Neoclassical Age, Age of Reason, Augustan period, in which the reason or the knowledge of the human being was much of importance. Followed by pre-romantic period, romantic period. In romantic period, people focused on the emotions, and they were focusing on fantasy and things like that, and they were trying to heal themselves with the help of romantic writings. Then followed by Victorian period, Age of Reform. Then modern period during post-World War I. Then postmodern period 1930 to 1945, in which people were disillusioned and they were seeing time as fragmented, and all their emotions were World War II. So this is the overall view of what happened throughout the English history. I'll take you individually throughout each age. First, highlights of Anglo-Saxon period. Saxons came from North Germany, from a place called Saxony. The language prevalent was Old English. It had the influence of Latin language. Anglo-Saxon poetry had strength and somberness with regular meter and rhyme. And the coronation of William I as the King of England led to the end of Anglo-Saxon period of English history. Now it was followed by the Anglo-Norman period. So the highlights were as follows. Norman quest year was 1066. It was the middle of 14th century. The Normans, especially William, Duke of Normandy, invaded England and defeated Edward the Confessor. King Harold II was the king of defeated by William in the Battle of Hastings. Battle of Hastings was very significant. Now, Normans were the pagan barbarian pirates from Denmark, Norway, and Iceland. Originally, they were the descendants of Vikings settled in northwest France. They began to be called as Normans or men of Normandy, and their land was known as Normandy or of the Northmen. They were converted into Christianity and they spoke French language. They learned cavalry, warfare techniques, and they had a lot of courage and they loved fighting. And during this period, there was rise of feudal system as well, and the king was considered as all supreme. They established towns and created important castles, such as the Tower of London. They also seized land and wealth of the English church and introduced church codes in England. The clergy insisted on the use of Latin language. The nobility insist on the use of French language, while the middle class people used French and English. As you can see, French language became the language of law and Old English was confined to the lower class people. And the high class people were considering French and Latin for their communication. More than 10,000 French words entered into English lexicon, and grammar became very simplified that time. And a lot of translations also took place from English to Latin and vice versa. And Latin replaced English in documents and chronicles. Important forms of writing of this period were chronicles. Chronicles are saints' lives. They were religious and didactic writing. They also considered poetry and drama. Historical writings also were prevalent during that time. And also romance became a popular literary form. It was a narrative genre and it indicates chivalric emotions rather than heroic ones. And they borrowed a lot from Latin and French sources. The stories dealt with King Arthur, War of Troy, and all sorts of stories about important king like Alexander the Great. Moving on, highlights of the age of Chaucer. The 14th century period was a time of transition and turbulence, and it was the foundation of how English as a modern language came into being. They also faced the 100 Years' War between France and England, and a sense of national consciousness and patriotism came into being by the victory of Edward and the Black Prince on the French soils. The East Midland dialect was transformed into English language. In 1362, a statute ordained that English would be the language of law courts, and trade and commerce flourished that time as well. The church was questioned by common people, especially the reformer Wycliffe. You should remember Wycliffe. He was the proponent of these protests, and feudalism broke down. There were protests against royal authority because of the unjust taxation. Black Death was also an important social event during that time, which was the spread of pestilence, and 1/4 of the England's population was wiped off. The working class asked for more wages, which led to the peasant revolt of 1381. Then highlights of the Middle Age, the Age of Revival. The time frame was this period followed Old English period and preceded the early modern English period. The grammar structure had influence of the French language, and as we have known that many words were adopted from French into English vocabulary. Some of the significant works are Canterbury Tales by Geoffrey Chaucer. It was written in the 14th century. It demonstrates the evolution of language and its ability to represent a broad range of social levels, characters, and locales. The Arthurian legends, William Langland's Piers, Plowman, and Sir Gawain and Green Knights were some of the noteworthy writers and works. The West Saxon dialect of Old English became the first standardized written English and influenced writing practices in other parts of England, and the Northern or Scandinavianized variety of East Midland became the basis of standard modern English. So you might find some questions: which language became the standard modern English form? So you would answer it as East Midland. They also faced the War of Roses. It was a civil war between two houses, the houses of Yorks and the house of Lancasters. Now, it's also called War of Roses because each of the house were represented by a rose. A white rose was a symbol of the Yorks, and the red rose was a symbol of the Lancasters. They also had this Cade Rebellion. Cade's Rebellion was the uprising against the policies of Henry VI, and it was led by Jake Cade. And the most important part were the rise of poets known as English Chaucerians and Scottish Chaucerians. They were all influenced by Chaucer, and therefore they got their names as such. So thank you so much, guys, and this was just a part of the overview, and this will be followed by next videos in which we will take up the other periods of English history. And after the exam of UGC NET 2025-24 from January to 1st to 19th, you've been given the dates. After that, we will have a full-fledged classes. If you are interested, please connect with us. Thank you so much.